Hi, it's me, your Void, and I'm still sitting in my bed. Side quests, am I right? Yeah, we did a recommendation video for that too, because who would I be if I wouldn't do one overachieving bitch that I am? So we're going in the same order as we did with my TBR video, meaning I don't give a fuck about the alphabet or any kind of like order except the one I have on my list. You're welcome. So without big fanfare or whatever, we're going straight in. Again, 2 books per prompt. Let's go. Prompt number 1 is the Crone's Nest. We need evil witches for that. So we have, on the one hand, the Iron Druid Chronicles, specifically the second book, where we go up against Polish witches who make the life of our resident druid in Arizona a bit less easy. As easy as life can be after you just killed a god from the Celtic pantheon. But yeah, we follow a druid in here. He's 2100 years old, and he's living in Arizona. He's living his best life. He has a wolf hound. His name's a Baron. They do cool shit, and they have been hunted down by a god, and they need to kind of kill the god in order to survive. And in book 2, we have Polish witches that do evil shenanigan shits. So we take our 2 lawyers, a werewolf and a vampire, guess who's doing the night shift, and fight them to survive. The other one being anything from the Alex Verus series by Benedict Jacka, because there are white wizards, magicians, blah, and black wizards, magicians, blah, and the black wizards, magicians, blah, usually count as evil. And we fight a team of them, a duo, bit like Team Rocket, like in every book of this series. So have at it. You have like a bajillion books to choose from in this series. They are very fun, very quick. Alex Verus is a seer, and he can literally like see what is going on in the next couple of seconds. And all he wants to do is just have his little itty bitty shop somewhere in London, but everyone in the world thinks that he can do things. So now they all come to him, and now he has to do some weird detective work that he never wanted to do in the first place, as one does. The second prompt is about a disappearance. So we could either read Nocturna, where we follow a prince. He's a crown prince against his will because his older brother has disappeared, and he gets into some trouble and some shenanigans because he's looking for a way to find his brother so he doesn't have to be the crown prince anymore. And we may or may not break some very important things that should never be broken. And then we have a returning guest with 5th Season by N.K. Jemisin, where we follow a woman who is hunting down her husband and her child because, hold for tractor. Oh, that's a chonker. He's blinking. Oh, it's 2. And the bus. Thank you. So we follow a woman who is following her husband and her child because her husband kidnapped her child. Because as it turns out, her child has magical powers, and magical powers are illegal if they are not working for the government. That is one of the 3 storylines that we follow in this one. And this is a dystopian fantasy, and it is so good. And yes, can only recommend, which is exactly what I'm doing right now. Then we come to the Monster Slayer prompt, where you should read something over 600 pages. Now, the more pages you read, the more money you get for this, right? But who would I be if I don't give you some 600-page books? I went on the tamer side for this one, for this recommendation specifically, with my love, Brian McClellan, and Promise of Blood. How can I not recommend this? In the English version, this is also over 600 pages long, so don't get fooled by the German title of this. No, it's over 600 pages. I checked it, you can read it, you can enjoy it, go read it. Go get the book, go read the book. Everyone needs to read the Brian McClellan Proud Mage series. And the second one is The Lies of Lamora by Scott Lynch. This one is also very thick. Like, these are very thick 600 plus pages. Again, I checked, the English version also has over 600 pages, so don't get confused by the German title. It's not the German edition that's over 600 pages. I mean, it is over 600 pages. This is an 800-page chonker, but whatever. This is very thick. These 600 pages feel very different to these 600 pages. This one, you can get through fast. This one is thick. This one is the honey that sticks to you, whereas this is your favorite soft drink. Read an entire book at night. I mean, that is totally up to you and your reading speed. Like, just, like, I don't know. I know people who can read a 600-page chonker in, like, 2 hours. I don't know. I wish I could, but yeah, read anything you want. I just randomly recommend something short just because it's like time frame stuff. Then we come to my favorite prompt, the Tangling with Terrors, aka the Monster Smut prompt. And honestly, you can read anything by Lillian, Lark, or Clio Evans. Everything is good. If you want to read a book, I can recommend Doves and Demons. I can recommend Deceived by the Gargoyles. But really, you can read anything from these two. They are all good, and most of them have monsters in them. We have to deliver important paperwork, and for that we need to travel, so we read something with a travel element. For this one, I can recommend Kings of the Wyld by Nicholas Eames. This is D&D in a book. This is, if you ever wondered what it feels like to play D&D, the stories you tell while playing D&D, read Kings of the Wyld. Me, as an avid D&D player and as a DM, I could sense the natural 20s, the really big successes, and the natural 1s, the really big failures in the story. And yes, yes, this is D&D as a book. And then we have Children of Blood and Bone by Tomi Adeyemi. I just recently read this, and it is basically just a travel journal. But yeah, we follow a girl and her brother and another girl, princess, and they travel throughout the land in order to bring magic back, because magic went away, mayhaps have been destroyed, and now they collect all the 7 Dragon Balls to bring it back. And things happen on this trip. They travel on a lion. I want to travel on a lion. I'm going to be a bit lazy now. We have to consider political issues after we delivered our message, correct? So we need to read something with politicians in it, or with a political storyline. So what better book than Promise of Blood, where we overthrow the monarchy? Listen, Brian, my man, if you want to make me your new PR manager, I'm here. I'm going to sell your books. Call me. Please don't call me. I'm a millennial. I hate having calls. Just write a message. Just write a message. It's fine. Cool. We are overthrowing the government, so there are political storylines in here because we also have to rebuild the government. Duh. If you don't want to read about people shooting people by Brian McClellan, can I interest you in People Throwing Glass at People by Brian McClellan? In the Shadow of Lightning is the new setting Brian McClellan came up, and I want to eat this book. I want to eat it. It is a very good book. I want to devour it. And I want book 2. So Brian, my man, after you are done calling me up, texting me to take over your PR team, I need you to sit your ass down and keep writing book 2. Because gimme. Thank you. In this world, magic is dying. Or not dying, but magic is a finite resource and it is running out. And we are right now at the point where this is happening and where this knowledge is getting out into the public, and we follow characters who might have an idea for a solution, but they have to keep it kind of quiet in order to not die because everyone wants the solution for themselves, because capitalism! Then we have a book that has to be under 100 pages, because again, pixies are small, so we read something small to smack them. In order to fulfill that prompt, mangas might not be your option, because they tend to be at around the 200-page mark, actually, so be careful with that. But you can read a novella by Clio Evans, if you are so inclined. Or you can read a comic. A bunch of comics are under 150 pages long. Not all of the John Constantine ones are, like the third one, this one, I don't know which edition this is. This is a new DC universe. I don't know how to sort comics, but whatever. This one is over 200, this is over 150, but the first 2 are not. Fun fact, I love John Constantine. Fucking love him. John, I'm talking about you. You can show up now. There is this myth that everyone who writes a John Constantine story sees John Constantine. Like, it's ridiculous. Google it. It's John! Come hither, my man! if you don't want to go the mainstream line of DC or Marvel comics, can I interest you in the Bloodborne comics? The best video game on this here planet and in this here reality? There's comics for that shit. And they are so good! Especially A Song for Crows. This has barely any words in it, but it is so good. It's so good. So if you want to have more Eldritch horror in your comic experience, get the Bloodborne comics. You don't even need to know what the game is about. These comics are just good. Can't wait for the next 3 collections. And that's it! Those are my recommendations for you. Again, I will put them into the spreadsheet. Of course, we have a spreadsheet for that shit. You are also welcome to fill in the spreadsheet. And again, if you have any questions, if a book fits a prompt or not, we have a wonderful, wonderful Discord that you can go to. Otherwise, YouTube comments are a thing. I mean, if you know me personally, I guess you can ask personally, but like, that would be very weird, so don't. Yeah, that's it. Bye. I'm sitting in a nest of books right now. It's all the books.